What is up, ninjas? My name is Samuel. Today we're going to be tackling a tutorial one of you guys requested, and we're going to be learning how to make crazy, metallic, demonic, gnarly, more demonic vocals like 1788, or as he says people should pronounce it, 1788. Making it more complex than it needs to be, my dude, but it's all good. I always wonder why he chose the date 1788. Now for this tutorial, guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to achieve those vocal effects. We're going to do the vocoded one, we're going to be doing the chorus and the delayed one, as well as the re-trigger one that stutters like if you guys have any more tutorial suggestions in this style of music, guys, make sure to leave them down in the comments below so that I can make them and help you make the music that you want to make. Now this Friday, guys, there's going to be a soundbite coming out called Desolation. I've been working on this soundbite with you guys on live stream, so a lot of you guys have seen it from its creation of 0 presets up to 100 now. I'm gonna keep working on it, but it's coming out this Friday, so if you guys want to support the channel or are in the market for these type of demonic, gnarly, fucking hard-hitting sounds, make sure to check it out, guys. And if you want to support the channel again, you can find it over at evilsounds.com. That's where you can find a lot of my sound design work. And with that being said, guys, let's get straight to getting some demonic, metallic vocals for you guys. Whoa. Alright fam, so here we are inside a beautiful Ableton where we're going to be creating the metallic vocal effect, and that's the first one we're going to hit because that's what the name of the video is. After you see this, if you want to continue with the tutorial, by all means, because we're going to be getting into different things that we can do differently instead of using a chorus and the vocoder effect and all that good stuff. Now in order to create the vocal effect, the metallic one, what we want to use is a chorus, and I suggest you guys go with that one. Now, the chorus effect itself, guys, so you understand what it's doing, is as this vocal is being routed into the chorus effect, it's getting duplicated, and you can choose to duplicate it once or twice here. As you're going to see, the chorus has delay 1 and delay 2. Now, as you duplicate it, usually what happens here is the timing of it and the pitch of it is kind of modulated a bit, and that's what creates the chorus effect. Now, think of it when you hear a choir, a bunch of little kids singing, little altar boy, what's up? And they're all singing, but they don't land on the beat at the same time. They might be off a bit. They each have different pitches. They're each modulating their pitch at different, rates and stuff. So that's what creates that nice choir effect. So that's what the chorus tries to emulate. It's as simple as that. Now, when manipulating the chorus, we have the rate of the modulation to the pitch. So if I increase that rate, do they hear me? We start to hear that okay effect, like kind of like the pitch is moving up and down. But for this effect, what we want is we don't want to use that. We want to have no rate almost, so 0.03 hertz there. And then from there, we want to increase the amount. Do they hear me? From here, we're going to increase the feedback. Do they hear me? And that's what's going to create that effect. From here, you can play around with the delay settings here. Now, keep in mind, again, like I said, the sound is getting duplicated, and pretty much they're each playing at different times. So this is where you control how off they are. So if you want them to all hit like 0.01 milliseconds after the original, do they hear me? Do they? You get that, but again, you don't get the effect. So you got to find like a nice kind of. Do they hear me? And there we go, that's there. Now the polarity here is very important as well, because when you're using very short decay times or very short delay times and you're using a very low rate, this is where this polarity starts to come in handy because you can switch between them to get different vibes. Do they hear me? And I personally like the negative polarity a little bit better. Do they hear me? Okay, there we go, and we get that feedback. Do they hear me? And that's how we get that effect. Now, the thing about 1788 or 1788 is the fact that he uses vocals that really don't have a lot of melodics to them. It's usually going to be like a vocal that says danger or something along those lines. So in order to make this not have melody, what we can do is just use little altar boy and set it into robot mode. And in robot mode, it makes it so that it doesn't have any melody. Do they hear me? Do they hear me? Last thing I want to add is like maybe a CLA vocal here just to get it to sound like nice and wet. Be careful with the reverb, however. We're going to put this in front of behind the limiter here. And I like to use a Spaceman preset. And of course, we're going to alter. I love CLA vocals. It's a hassle-free way of just processing vocals. If you have decent sounding vocals, of course. And we're going to go with a tight reverb. No delay as we already have it. We're going to add some right. Do they hear me? As you can see, as we start to kind of get that up, we start to get a lot of highs and stuff like that. So that's where you need to EQ a bit. Do they hear me? And then we're going to kind of get rid of low. Do they hear? If you want this to sound very we can get rid of this mid-low here. Just a. Do they hear me? Do they hear me? All right, and then from there, you can do whatever you want with this. Pitch it down. Do they hear me? Here, we're going to have to bring this back in. Do they hear me? Do they hear me? And then from here, you can just EQ it various different ways. Do
Do they hear me?
To get it to how you want it to sound like.
Do they hear me?
And that's how we get kind of like the metallic vocal effect. Now there are other options that we're going to talk about as this video progresses, but for now that's going to be the metallic effect. Another way to achieve that as well is using a simple delay. And it's kind of taking the same route as the chorus, where we duplicate the sound or get it to the left and to the right, separate it. And what we're going to be pretty much doing is making the left and the right not sync up together, creating a little bit of that phasing on purpose with a high feedback, the techno effect, as I like to call it.
Do they hear me?
Let's get rid of the alter.
Do they hear me?
And that creates another sort of metallic vibe. It's a little bit more delayed though.
Do they hear me?
And you get more of that. So here you can kind of fine tune.
Do they hear me?
So that's another way to get it to sound a bit, in a way, metallic. Not like the chorus, but it still has a nice vibe to it, as you guys can see. Now, I don't recommend you use this and the chorus together, because then you just get a lot of resonations that are hard to get rid of. I'm not going to lie. It's very hard to get rid of them, but that's how we approach that, guys. Now, moving on, we have another vocal I recorded, and we're going to be doing the vocoder effect on this one. I am the world destroyer. Sexy man right there. So, yeah, I heard 1788 made a track where he had something say I am the balaba, some shit, and I did this one. Okay, so this one is going to be the vocoder effect. So the first option you have is, if you're in Ableton, you can use a vocoder that you're going to use here. You're going to turn it into external mode. You're going to get audio from wherever your MIDI is. So we're going to go with number 4, and I don't think it's up there, so we need to put in a source material, which is going to be Serum or Silent 1 into that MIDI here. There we go. We're using a, so it sounds like this. Let's put it up an octave here. And the first one we'll do is just straight across. Now keep in mind, whatever sound you decide to put in through this, it's going to affect the way that vocal sounds. So keep in mind to pick a good sound. And now from here, we're going to go from number 4. And there we go. The depth up is going to make it so that it only plays when the vocal is saying something. If you put it down, it just sounds like a fucking saw. So you want to have that depth up. If you give it release, you create that release so that it kind of tells the vocoder the vocal's going to last longer in a way, but it creates a release to it so that the saw that you have lasts a little longer. Increase the sensitivity and you get that. Okay, from here we do have access to formants, which just shifts the formant. I can't explain what the formant does, but it kind of changes the pitch of the vocal. So you can do a lot with that. Just make sure you still hear the I am the world destroyer part. And from there, you can use the chorus effect to get it to sound demonic or give that metallic vibe to it. Again, just high feedback. Hear this high pass, we want to put it. Now here, what I failed to mention was Delay 2 does have these settings here. A lot of people don't know what they do. Keep in mind here, if we have this set to mod, both of them get modulated by whatever rate is here. If we have this set to fix, this one gets modulated, this one does. And in off, this doesn't do anything. So you will notice that Delay 1, if you do, you won't hear anything if you have it at 100%. And that's because the only signal you have left, which is Delay 1, signal 1, is getting high pass. So it's wise to have this be higher. Like, you don't want too much. And then here we just mess with the delay times. Remember, the sound itself is getting duplicated. The timing is changing. The pitch modulation is happening. So here you control how off it is in terms of the time. So you can do a lot of cool stuff with that, guys. So have fun there. Now, the next option that we have in order to get this to sound cool, I am the world destroyer, is to use Vocal Synth 2. Now, Vocal Synth 2 is awesome. It's like $10 a month now on Splice, and it's good to have if you're going to be manipulating vocals a lot because it gives you more options. That's the important thing about it. I am the world destroyer. As you can see, that one sounds pretty cool, and it gives us this nice kind of like someone's talking through a mic in Call of Duty, Black Ops or something. So here we can change, you know, if we click on these equalizers, as I like to call them, we can change what kind of wave we have. Again, these are vocoders like the one we just used. You can use a sub. I am the world destroyer. Change this. I am the world destroyer. And then from here we can go up 12. You can get really cool effects there, as you can see, plus 12. Usually it works better when it's lower than what the output is here, so negative values. And then from here you can square to a square. Mod is going to modulate this pitch, so you get this kind of effect to it. Then here we have the shape of this. We can modulate that shape as well with the LFO, which is located down here, a sine, a saw, and then the rate, the speed of it. Okay, it's pretty simple to use, but we can do a lot of cool stuff with it. Polybox is going to be your vocal, the original one. If you don't move it, it's just the original. I am the world destroyer. I am the world destroyer. So you can definitely get really cool. I am the world destroyer. Cool vibes out of it. Now, the thing I don't like about vocal synth is that you can't do that effect with the chorus that we did previously in the beginning of this tutorial. I am the world destroyer. But you can still get the original OG one. I am the world destroyer. Okay, delay is gonna be, you're gonna be able to do that effect we did earlier. So I am the world destroyer. So now you can get that with very high delay, very high mix on it, very low time, and very high feedback. I am the world destroyer. You can get that. And the last thing here is we have is a shredder. Now this is the effect I really like that 1788 does a lot, and that is going to be pretty cool. Pretty much what the shred does is it grabs the source material, and at certain moments it's going to duplicate it. So it's like a, if you've ever used the DJM 900, there's the loop repeat or beat repeat mode, and you turn that and it's like ta 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 at certain parts. So that's what this kind of does for us. So I suggest you put the mix high and set it to the way you want. You have different sequences you can, and then from there, whenever you want to apply it, just automate this up. And then you get that. You can even record that and then sample it out and then just duplicate it across wherever you want it, guys. But as you guys can see, once you know how to do it, it's a lot of fun because you're like, oh, I want to get my vocals to sound a certain way. Experimentation is the key here, guys. But as you know, if you know the basics of it, to get it to sound metallic, from there, if you want it to sound a bit different or a bit more unique, experimentation is the key. So that just requires you to go in, play around. Just know what you're doing when it comes to it. And the simplest form in explaining vocal synth 2 is that it is a vocoder. So a lot of the times going in here and setting these to different values, different pitches can create very unique effects. I am the world destroyer. Okay. From there, there's really not much else for us to do here. The last thing I do want to explain, though, is going to be the beat repeat that we can find in Ableton, which a lot of people don't really talk about. And I wouldn't either, because at first glance, when you try and use it, it seems a bit random, like you have no control over it. But in fact, you do. So these are my tips for that, and we're going to end the video after this, guys. But when using the beat repeat, what I suggest you do is you turn this gate on here, as that is going to allow you to just hear the effect itself. Which again is similar to the beat the shredder inside of Vocal Synth 2. I just stuttered there like I had a beat repeat, man. What's up? So here we have the interval, which is how often it's gonna happen. So you want it every 1/4. That's cool. The grid is gonna be determined how big those are. So if you have a very low grid on it, you're gonna get more of that. Okay, from here, the next important one that we need to mess with is the variation. The variation is going to make this random, so the grid type is going to change. And you can set different forms of it here. Pretty simple there. The next important one is this pitch one, which you can use experimentally because you can get the source material that gets duplicated, and then you can down pitch it by 12. Okay, pitch decay is going to work when you have this set to a lesser value than -12. So if you have this at -7, what happens is these guys here repeats, right? This one is -7, then -8, then -9. So it lowers that down. So it kind of messes with the pitch, as you can. It goes down, as you can see the pitch decay. Okay, here you can add a bit of a decay, so it kind of gradually goes away. So it's quiet. And then we do have a filter for the effect so that you just want the highs of it. Okay, and then once we go back into mix mode, I am the world destroyer. And then you can create stuff like that. So it's super cool. But if you just want to use it, what I suggest you do too is you put it in gate mode. You route this audio into this third audio that we just created. So audio number 2. And then you record that, the gates. So now you have a little bit more control over that beat repeat here. For instance, let's get rid of the decay and do it one more time. I feel like it didn't. So we're going to get that there. So there we go. And now we have. Let's make it louder. And there you have a lot of access. Now you have a little bit more control over the effect, because now since it's separated, you can do a lot with it, like put reverb on it to push it to the back of the mix more, or create atmosphere with it. Let's get rid of this bit repeat. I am the world destroyer. And you can do a lot of cool stuff with that, like, guys. Like, you can even down pitch it more if you want. Like, I am the world destroyer. I don't know, whatever you want to do with it, guys. But those are going to be the tricks I have for you guys to get your vocals to sound in that style, guys. And I hope that you guys, you know, learn from it. And I hope that you can do it yourself now like a pro. I'm excited to hear if you guys use it in songs in tomorrow's feedback stream at 8 a.m. PST Standard Time, guys. And you guys take care, guys. Tomorrow's Thursday, by the way. And I usually do a feedback stream. But yeah, guys, on Friday, this sound mix gonna come out. We've been working on it on live streams, like I said, and it's finally coming together, and I can't wait to show it to you guys this Friday. So make sure to be tuned for that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live stream, maybe a new video. You guys take care. Peace out.